Battle.
Well, we're going.
It's alright. I can do both.
Let's ride.
Okay. Round 2. Take 3. Action scene number... That's yours. Action scene number 4.
Action scene, bananas. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by our internet outage, yeah, I want to take the Stream Deck and add a bunch of sound effects so that we have canned laughter, canned clapping, and basically just lead us in TV show style. So
Okay.
like, all right, please give a big warm...
Nice. Very
Please,
suave.
please give a big warm
burp
burp.
for our host, Matthew Ketch. Matthew, why don't you get your big ass in here and take a seat and smell out the room with your
Ow.
flavor.
Big ass? Fuck you, man.
I think my ass is bigger than his.
Looking at my... Oh, certainly. You got them baby hips. And I'm over here. I can't give birth to anything except
Not true.
regret.
I mean, you can if you tried.
No.
You
No,
just need to put a lot of burritos in you.
I promise you that anything that comes out of my asshole ain't gonna start walking and talking. It's just, there's just no capacity for it.
Listen,
I mean, there's so much salt in your body. I'm unsure how your body physically works, so I still think it's possible.
I'm unclear
It's
where
possible, dude.
this salt thing came from. Like, am I a blessed monk who'd, when I move my arms, anti-ghost salt sprays out everywhere? It feels like a weird thing
You're
to,
some sort of
to pin on
being
my
made
character.
out of vinegar and salt that just converged one day and became a man.
That's
Maybe-
what my life
maybe we're
goal
doing
should be.
this, Maybe we're doing Matt a disservice. Instead of trying to say, oh, you know, he's full of salt and vinegar and keep laughing about it, maybe if we keep saying that he's full of sugar and spice,
And everything
we'll
nice.
make him something else. Because I feel like by us leaning into the vinegar and salt thing, like, we're only making him worse. Like,
Maybe.
I've heard him word for word say, like, well, I don't believe in anything. And then just, like, that's it. Dead air after
I mean,
that.
whenever he
I'm a
leaves, I'm like,
nihilist,
goodbye,
Lebowski."
Sunshine Bear. And he's always like, alright, Ocean Bear.
I just do we not would we not prefer sugarcane Getch?
No.
Oh well,
I feel
would.
like he'd become one of those old men that, like, you know, when their hair turns white, he'd pretend to be Santa for children. I feel like that's who he'd become.
Oh, you're
that's
sick.
that's the kind of
Dummy.
Getch
Yeah,
I
that's
want.
fucked. That's fucked up, man. Why would you ever put that bad juju on me? I never want to have that many kids climbing into or out of my lap.
You're already on the list.
Yeah, that's the reason why we shouldn't be permitted to continue doing it.
I
That's why we
disagree.
shouldn't
I
be
think
on
that
there.
we should get you a job as a permanent mall Santa.
Hello.
Middle of July.
Hello, everyone. I'm Permanent Mall Santa. They call me Permanent Mall Santa Getch. It's lovely to join you. Will you guys please come sit on my lap?
Does he, like, wear bunny ears around Easter?
No, actually, he wears a different suit for each season. During the summer, he's got nothing but a Speedo. During
I'm Lifeguard
Easter,
Santa.
Especially in California, he's just like Surfboard Santa.
Yeah, who's ready to come sit with Surfboard Santa? It's like massive erection, sitting on the speedo.
During
The elves are all in
Easter-
bikinis.
Yeah.
They're not even
But
like
they're
women.
dudes, yeah.
dudes.
They're dudes, or better yet, they're the inflatable snowmen
Oh, man.
that were unsold from Big Five. They just tried their best to
half
put,
inflate them.
yeah, half inflated. They're like
And they're like,
really getting sucked into the folds of the
they all
the
have
bra.
like small holes, so they never fully inflate, but it takes them forever to deflate.
During Easter, he's in furry cosplay. During spring, he's got nothing but leaves on, like a Michelangelo sculpture.
Mm.
During Valentine's Day, you're in a diaper.
Does he have the bow and arrow?
Of course,
Yeah, but I use it to hurt kids.
a bow and sleigh.
Instead of just shoot pickles at people.
I'm trying to think of a Memorial Day. I'm wearing I've got a captain's hat.
Captain Uncle Sam.
You get beat up by veterans for stolen valor every day.
Stolen valor. I don't see the patch in the correct place.
And last but not least, during Thanksgiving, you come as Christopher Columbus.
Why not a turkey?
Why not smallpox?
You're right. You should come as Aztec King.
Aztec King Brian, finish the sentence.
Period. Finished it.
You should come to mall as Aztec King Brian says, making chimp noises shortly after and rubbing his armpits.
So what do you guys think about this controversy with some
I think we're
random
talking
clothing
Friends.
store
A lot.
where they had a child in a shirt that said, I'm the best monkey in the jungle, and the child happened to be African American.
What's the controversy?
Were people freaking out?
Yeah. Well, in some cases, monkeys.
No, I know the implication. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, the controversy.
They were just like,
exists.
why would you use that kid for that shirt? Like, are you?
You should have.
stupid?
You should have made her explain it. I think it would have been really uncomfortable.
But real quick, I can't tell because my eyes aren't that great, but I think we're dropping frames and a significant amount.
Are we? So we've dropped about a fourth of the frames total.
Let me see. I want
Which-
to open this up.
I think is too many.
I'm gonna open this up.
It's not great.
We're dropping frames and a significant
Buffering. I got an ad.
amount. Oh god damn it! Why don't you subscribe to us?
I
You piece
I
of
got rid
shit.
of my Amazon Prime because I'm poor.
A likely excuse.
You pay yearly. What?
I'm a poor.
Yeah, how'd you get rid of it?
And he just pays my bills now.
Have him pay for your Amazon Prime and nothing else.
No, he pays everything. He pays my rent.
You should be on the streets,
Should be on the roads.
but with Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that way two-day delivery to wherever you are, and then you fucking test them. You drive out into the water. You drive up to Canada. You go
I
snowing
think we're
with the igloos.
I think we're okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Well, if we get hit like so, first of all, I have no place to put anger. And
You want a jar?
I am
have an
in
empty jar.
I am in general a pretty angry.
Perfect.
Oh god, it got on me.
I'm in general like I've just been like running around doing errands all day. And so I was like, oh, it's cool. We're gonna have a nice podcast. It's gonna be a nice chill. Fuck you, Cox. Fuck, Cox. Fuck you. I might not even be your fault. I don't care.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck you, Cox. Fuck you. Fuck. God.
What if they were just about to send us like a sponsorship?
They
It's
weren't.
Like, hey,
They weren't. You want to know why? Because I've yelled at so many fucking Cox technicians, and on Twitter I've gotten so angry at random Twitter people. They keep passing me off. I remember I was talking to the nicest lady, and I like went off on I spewed hot shit in her direction because that's all I was getting.
Yeah.
And I like in exchange, someone else came on and was like,
Hey, that's our employee. You fuck off. It's our job. We break their spirit, not you.
and I was like, you obviously don't know about the service industry. This is just like what happens. It's not that it's good.
I used to work in service.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's garbage.
Your job's the service industry. You're always servicing someone.
What kind of jobs are you doing?
The worst.
Yeah, not great ones. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, no, it was like the most frustrating experience is having to juggle around these like half human, half company people who are being paid to
Deflect you.
stonewall as hard as possible.
Also, be quirky Twitter.
Yeah, or be like, well, they're not even quirky. Like Arby's is quirky. Arby's has like unique and produces
Wendy's
unique
is
content.
quirky.
Yeah, but don't support Wendy's. They buy their tomatoes from slaves.
I'm sorry, what? Is there a source for this
I
information?
mean, I'm sure if you looked at everybody's buying habits, like in the industry,
Well,
I'm sure
let
you'd
me
find
tell
shady
you.
Hang
things
on, here we
everywhere.
go. Get ready. Moraloutrage.gif.
right.
Here we go. Let's PNG. Let's engage.
So all the tomatoes for fast food stuff come from Florida.
Okay.
I forget what the city is, but there's like a company that is the source of tomatoes for fast food.
Okay.
Right.
What's the name of the company?
I forget. I saw this like 2 weeks ago. I read it. I digested it and moved on.
Can I call it Flamados?
Sure.
Okay, so the company Flamados
Flamados
in Barbados.
provides Barbados, Florida.
And it's just like we're still dropping.
Flamados in Barbados.
Provides the tomatoes for places like McDonald's, Wendy's,
Like I said, no
Walmart.
no one's
in
escaping
fact,
this.
Right? They give tomatoes to everyone. And eventually it was discovered that the workers who picked the tomatoes were basically working for slave conditions. Like they weren't getting like paid anything. They were like dying. Like it was just bad. So when that got exposed,
How do you get ripe tomatoes, Brian?
I have an ace pick them, and I pay him a fair wage.
What's the
Okay.
fair wage?
This is still racially charged. Whoa.
I pay him with a back rub.
He'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
So what was eventually like obviously the conditions got better, and on top of that, they signed a contract that for every pound of tomatoes that they buy, they pay an extra cent that goes directly as wages to the employees.
An extra
Right.
penny
Yeah.
just per pound.
Yeah, I know that seems small, and I'm also frustrated that it's so small. But I have to imagine that the amount of poundage that
Yeah.
they sell is
It
significant.
probably works out to be a good number. Like the amount of actual poundage that's coming out has got to be pretty solid, got to be pretty hot, and got to be pretty fresh.
Do I think it should be higher? Sure.
Yeah.
But let's just assume for the moment that it's fine. So what Wendy's did is that they said we don't want to sign that because the reason is that's stipulation for the contract, saying that they would have to pay an extra cent per pound would be the equivalent of asking us, the consumer, an extra penny for the food to pay their employees. That's it. That was their reason.
Their official statement.
Yeah.
I mean-
so they switched to a company in Mexico to buy their tomatoes from,
That's
who are legit
slave-
slave owners. Like, the conditions are awful. If you work for them, if you try to quit, they whip you.
What the fuck, Wendy's? But I mean, like I said, you're gonna find this shit everywhere with a fast food company.
Yeah.
Like think about McDonald's. McDonald's.
I'm
is
sure their pickles
sing-
are come from also slaves.
No. So McDonald's is single-handedly responsible for the almost extinction of a fish because that's the fish they use for the fillet of fish.
Yeah, there's a
Is it the tilapia?
there's a flash
No,
game.
It's not even tilapia.
Where you-
It's like a really ugly fish.
Yeah, it's something hideous. It's it's
Flounder.
probably for the best that they're going to
Mermaid.
instinctify it, but like
It's because
Merman.
and like there's
Aquaman.
they're not gonna kill Jason Samoa. Jason Smower? What's his name?
My man.
My man! My man!
You're welcome.
Justice League. Yeah, there we go. But there's a flash game where you try and run the McDonald's franchise, and like one of the things you do is bribe politicians in South America for rainforest land, so you can plant more wheat to grow more buns at a lower cost.
What the fuck?
It's like a really on the nose game. Like when you have to constantly fire workers, otherwise they become jaded and work less effectively. So you have to constantly fire people and then hire new bright shining faces just to break their spirits and then cycle them through. It was a flash game that was like after playing it, I was like, wow, I hate resource games, and two, I never want to go to McDonald's again. And then I went like later that
McDonald's
day. Yeah. I was
Since
like,
I recently escaped the clutches of Walmart, I can
going
also
back.
start talking about this.
You can never
like,
escape.
That
I bet
place
you
is-
$5 you'll be back at Walmart
Please
in
don't.
3
I
days.
don't want to.
no, he's Mr. Wally.
Like they treat us all like garbage. Not to mention they took away some really good benefits we had and switched over to this way that just made it almost impossible to like use your paid time off in a constructive way. Mm-hmm. It was utter garbage.
But Rachel, they just gave everyone a $1,000 bonus.
Oh no, they just announced layoffs.
With the tax changes, everyone's getting more money unless you work at Sam's Club.
We were also one of the last companies to up the wages. So when I worked there, and the wage increase happened, I was making above minimum wage because I had been there for 2-3 years and I had gotten bonuses and stuff and raises, for being a good worker.
Yeah, that's really
when
nice.
when that raise happened, they didn't include my raises or bonuses, so I was making the exact same amount of people who just got hired.
Ugh,
Dope.
rough, yeah.
But Rachel, it's wall-to-wall smiles.
Everyone's happy.
It's true.
Haven't you seen the rollback deals and the 10% discount
it's
give you
miserable.
a real opportunity at having a long life? Phil, how do you feel about your particular employer?
If I go to Wendy's and don't get tomatoes, is that okay?
Probably.
Okay, so we're good. Just
Yeah,
don't get
So
tomatoes.
just don't get tomatoes.
Can I get-
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I get the tomatoes off of my sandwich? You just ordered tomatoes. We don't even offer tomatoes, and you ordered them, and then you told me not to give them to you.
I really like Wendy's chili. though.
Here's
Remember,
$1
if you
for an empty bag.
If you go to a McDonald's
Yeah,
kiosk,
can't go wrong with the
order a $1 burger and remove every item off the burger, you still pay $1 for the bag.
Wait, so
That's
like,
right. Yeah, I remember that now.
I went
yes,
to McDonald's
which is super
recently.
hilarious.
So I went to McDonald's recently, right?
What was the occasion? Were you trying to blow your brains out and just couldn't work up the courage?
No.
No, she's
uh,
trying to get lawsuit money from
My,
the
my
coffee.
mom was just like, you haven't eaten, and Aeneas hadn't bought me food that day, so I didn't have anything here.
Got it.
So I was just like, I'll just go through McDonald's. Like, I'm pretty poor. And someone actually came up to
Fair
her
play.
car and was like, hey, would you buy me some food? And, when people had, like, specifically asked for food, I'm like, I'm going to buy you some food.
Okay.
So I bought them 2 burgers. So that was goodness. But I also bought myself 2 burgers. Does that, like, counteract it? And am I just evil in general?
Oh yeah.
Because I bought from McDonald's?
Well, I'll
So
tell
you
you what.
not only fed yourself off the backs of slaves, you also fed homeless people slave food.
Yeah. Did you also buy food for all the slaves that made the food that you bought?
Do you
bought
think that
from?
that balances out the scales?
No,
Like if I go to McDonald's and buy 100 burgers and then go out to the fields where they're picking all the tomatoes and I give them each a burger, does that
This
that
is where
make
your
me-
hard work went to.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
I can taste my blood in this one.
Brian, like we can't talk because if we really cared, like to pull back whatever curtain it was that makes our lives convenient, what we would do is we would become self-sufficient. We would grow our own groceries.
All
We
right,
would like
let's
produce our own
mine
food.
our own Bitcoin. Let's connect our own
tomatoes.
Wi-Fi.
We'll start our own internet where we just write to each other. Yeah, there we go.
Hookers.
And yeah, we'll have some hookers too.
Blackjack and hookers.
We'll have some blackjacks.
So
And they'll grow crops for.
Let's get out of this hole and talk about good things. How about we talk about ADGQ?
Yeah. Oh, so like no, I think there's genuine frustration that's being resolved by this, but yeah, AGDQ is good.
Although there was
It's a
some-
really fun event.
People were pretty pissed off that the chat was sub only.
Why don't they just change the name to WGDQ?
What? What is that?
Winter Games Done Quick?
Because they also have summer games done quick.
Right.
But they also have
Why
winter
not
games
change
that
it
quick.
to Winter Games
Because
Done Quick?
there's also another one.
Because it's not awesome.
There's like 3, right? There's 3. Right?
No, there's just the 2.
I thought it was 3.
There's awesome games done quick, and then there's summer games done quick. And AGDQ was the original, which is probably why they don't change it. Was because that's
Why not change Summer Games Done Quick to Excellent Games Done Quick?
Nah.
fantastic games done speedily.
No, but they're over 1 million right now.
Yeah, they broke the 1 million, which I'm not surprised by. That's a pretty common
Don't they always make it?
happening. Yeah, they always hit the 1 million.
There was-
They have the last couple years.
Wait. So there was somebody who donated, I think like 4 grand, during one of the games just to make sure it was during Super Mario 3D World.
Yep.
Just to make sure that Toad won.
won, yeah.
And he was in last place. So they donated. They just had the money
So what's
to
the-
donate 4 grand.
What's the context here? What are they donating for?
So the incentive was what character they would pick to play the last level, and Luigi was winning. And during the game, they were just like, make Mario win. Like, Mario's good. And Mario was slowly gaining. He overtook Luigi, and Luigi came back. And at the last possible second, somebody donated 4 grand, which pushed Toad, who's in last place, all the way to the front.
Which is like the kind of example. I mean, someone like today just dropped 10K anonymously.
And then another 5K.
Yeah, just because there are just people out there that are like, yeah, I've got like some funds. I'll drop it over here.
That's the best thing to do with your Bitcoin is to
Cash it
funnel
out.
into GDQ.
Well, once you've got too much money, like I don't know what you do with it.
Invest.
What do you spend it on? Well, you've got too much money. Like you're already overloaded.
You make kids, and you'd
You
be like,
start
all
a
right,
franchise
kids.
where you sell burgers at a cheap cost, and then you
Make
outsource
more.
all of your product to places in South America where there are no labor laws.
Wait a minute. Go away, old conversation. We've moved on.
Is that Mr. McDonald?
I don't want to feel bad anymore.
No,
Ronald?
Mr. Walmart.
Yeah.
Mr. Walmart?
Yeah.
Please, no. I want to
No, I honestly
No,
think
actually, Mr. Walmart
Ag-
was actually a sweet man.
a good business idea for like putting people in debt is like you give them $1 million and you're like, you have 48 hours to spend all of this,
Easy.
and anything that you don't pick up, you would if you don't break the $1 million, then you owe us all the money that you spent.
Easy.
It's easy.
Which
What
are,
about giving it away? Does that count?
Yeah,
no.
so I need receipts for the
Yeah,
$1 million.
you have to have receipts. You have to purchase things. You can't just walk up to
Just go
someone and
Best
be
Buy
like,
buy the whole store.
Yeah, easy. I mean, that's not what I do, but easy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
go
it's
buy
easy.
a super expensive car, super expensive house, probably
as
buy, like,
as
a
quickly as
restaurant.
possible. You're like, no, I don't care how expensive it is. Just let me sign it. Let me
Yeah.
sign the form.
I could immediately see, like, if I buy myself a house, my parents a house, and A's parents a house, that's probably going to be like almost $1,000 right there. And
No,
whatever I have
remember,
left over,
remember.
I'll just fill it with food.
All you have to do is spend it. Then, once they get your head off the chopping block, then you can just sell what you
Whatever you bought.
to make back some of the money.
Yeah, try. So my favorite part of this is like try keeping like if you get 6 Maseratis, like where are you gonna put them? Do you drive them or do you?
wait,
What's your game plan here?
Tell 'em you'll be back soon.
Get,
Yeah, will you please take these Maseratis by elephant to the nearest location so I
No.
can park them?
I'd buy 6 Teslas,
Just
and then buy the most expensive insurance, and then drive them off a cliff. And then make more money.
And then die?
Off the
How are you? So you're driving these off the
No,
cliff,
they
right?
self-drive.
You're just like,
Idiot.
Tesla's engaged suicide, and they're like, Rich, I cannot control this. Please stop the suicide. And you just all drive off.
Remember,
Brian, I loved you. And they drive off the edge.
they don't know how to drive until you've driven them 1,000 miles. So they just engage autopilot from the dealership.
Please teach me, Daddy. And it drives off the edge.
Into the ocean.
Did we hit
Yeah.
3
Still some
grand
fish.
or 3,000 drop frames?
It's some high number.
So there's 35,000 total frames, and we've hit 3,500 total
So a
drop
tenth.
frames.
10
So about a tenth, which is pretty good. I think if anything, we're coming back. Like the stream quality is probably improving a little bit as this goes
We're
on.
Nickelback?
Yes. Well, the thing that I least want to be is
Nickeling back.
look at this photograph.
I just got the weirdest like targeted ad from Walmart. Like it said, "Hey Chula Vista."
Are you in need of a job? You know who's always hiring?
Walmart.
No, they actually begged me not to quit, and I was like, "Fuck you guys."
Please don't quit. We'll blow you.
What did they offer you?
A blow.
Nothing. They didn't offer me
Blow.
anything.
Yeah. So
Cocaine.
like all
Crack
right.
cocaine.
Here, Phil.
Tony.
We were dating briefly in this hypothetical situation. Phil, will you please not break up with me?
Sorry, it has to happen, man.
I gotta go with my heart.
I will literally give you nothing to stay with me.
You make a hard bargain.
Wait a minute, are you a Walmart agent in disguise?
I don't know if I could refuse you. No.
Yeah,
Whoa, no, wait a
They really just like
This
"Can
is
you
all
stay
getting
on for,
derailed
another
so
3
quickly.
Days? And I'm like, no, I fucking quit.
Yeah. Why 3 days?
I don't know. I
What
think
do they
See, it was
want you
3
to
days.
do?
Because at the end of the third day, they're like, all right, well, you've only done 3 days. Just finish out the week.
That's
Finish out the
prob-
week. All right. I mean, you've done a week to a month. Like, it's whatever.
The week to month? Okay, so 3 days to a week, yes. I can see that happening. A week to a month is a
Because
long
you're in the middle of a
time.
paycheck. So you want to collect an extra paycheck, and they know, like, listen, you're gonna get 2 paychecks. You might as well get 2 paychecks because once you quit, you're not gonna have a job.
Yeah, don't you want
Just do a
that?
month.
Don't get the
You know,
paycheck.
Hey, don't you want that barely above minimum wage
A couple
paycheck?
decades. No big deal.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
only
whatever.
done a year.
40 years? Who cares?
What's 8 more?
Yeah, what's 1,000 more? You know, if you live another 20 years, you'll be living another 1,000.
By then, they'll crack immortality. You'll be good.
Yeah, that's what it is. Actually,
That's what immortality is gonna be.
Legitimate
It
fact.
It only applies when you work for Walmart. But as soon as you leave or quit Walmart, you
will
die.
have the secret immortality.
yeah, that's
So, do you think? How much do you think ADGQ like donates per year? Like just like 2 million,
no. They usually do 1.7.
1.7.
Okay, that was peak last year. They did 1.7 during
Total?
Summer Games Done Quick. Yeah, so actually this year, and they always break the million. As long as I've been watching them, they've been breaking the $1 million benchmark. And in fact, the first year I watched, they partnered with Humble Bundle,
And they're
they
doing it now.
Fucking cleaned house.
They're
They
doing
made
it.
so much money that year, and the next few years they actually fell under what they made previously. But they always do super, super well.
Do you think that the like there was an interview that they did with the charity they're doing, and it was just like we didn't really understand what speedrunning was. Like we had to explain to us several times, but I didn't hear enough of the interview to see if they had that question. Like, did you imagine this was gonna blow up as much as it did? Like, I'm pretty sure that ADGQ is probably one of their biggest donators.
Well, I don't know. That's a hard thing to quantify because like I don't know where the charity they help is the Prevent Cancer Foundation
And Doctors Without Borders.
and they do Doctors Without Borders and Summer Games Done Quick. I just don't know. Like the first time I heard about that charity was during this event. So like if anything, like that is an obvious boon is that you're getting the exposure from something like this that is as big as it is. And it's I think that like this is a great example of the fact that on like the internet has created these like weird
niche communities
that exist and that people are willing to pay just to see these niche communities do what they're good at. Which is I
have an
think a really
example.
cool thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Just immediately an example. So during one of the breaks where they were interviewing people and like showing off the prices, they had Darbian who did that really fast time in Dragsters.
He also he's the record holder in Mario as well in Super Mario, like
So-
the original OG.
Yeah.
Mario. He has the record time.
So they had this
which is cool.
this Atari, and they had him sign his own copy
Yeah.
of Dragsters. And immediately after that, they started getting like donations everywhere that were 5.57 of that says time in Dragsters.
Yeah.
So it was just like, because every time I looked at the counter, it was like 5.57.
Yeah, 5.57.
5.57, and there were so many comments that
And
just like,
the
oh my god,
comments-
Darbian!
Also, there were comments that were just 5.57, 5.57, 5.57.
Yep.
This $5.57 donation comes from 557 saying comment 557, like Edo Bean reading that over and over
and
again.
also just like, oh my god, Darbian, I need it.
Yeah. And that's true. I think of anything. There's a hype factor in that too, where people are like, "Holy crap! People are donating for this cartridge. People must want it. I'm gonna donate too, because if I win it, I can sell it."
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, but no, this is like what I'm fascinated with this event, and it's not just because I find it sort of entertaining, because sort of is a strong, like, not all of them are entertaining, but like I do find it interesting.
There's some ones that you're like, oh, this is gonna be okay, and then like the entertainment just. I've followed like 3 people on Twitch just because of.
Yeah.
It's my first time being exposed to them. Like, these guys are funny.
Yeah, like PJ. I don't know if Wexel still streams. Or doing AGDQ, but he used to run a lot of weird games.
I had really good
Feasel,
time
sorry,
with,
I said Wexel. It's a coworker. Feasel is the one that I wanted.
Carcinogens
Diesel?
was really good.
Vin Feasel. And Carcinogen, yeah. Carcinogen's run of Resident Evil 7 was awesome. To be TBHHHHHHHHH. To be honestly honest. I watched Carcinogen at a previous GDQ event, and I like hated his stream. I thought his like personality was sort of obnoxious, and I couldn't get into the things that he was getting into, and
You would almost say he was carcinogen.
Yeah.
And caused it cancer.
yeah, he was literally giving me cancer. But a lot of it was because he was like kind of loud. But in Resident Evil 7, like he was like awesome. He was like informative, and he was funny, and he was like playing to the camera, which I haven't seen someone else do, which was awesome.
Did they ever let back
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw?
I haven't seen him this year. I don't know if
Is that
he's...
the one that was playing
Jack and Daxter,
and
yeah.
he cursed a lot?
Yeah. Well, he cursed twice.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of other stuff that he did that was kind
I
of
didn't
like...
watch the whole thing. I knew about the cursing, but what else did he do?
There were a few... He like made fun of Canada Air like a lot. like he was like, thanks to Canada Air who almost got us, who almost didn't get us on here. If everyone watching will just tweet at Canada Air saying that this,
Okay.
you know, like there were a few things that he did that were kind of like
That's kind of funny.
2 F-bombs I don't feel like is enough to guillotine someone over.
Someone like actually said douchebag on the couch. Like when I was watching one of the streams, it was just like, I'm the douchebag, and I was like,
There are always gonna be Phil. GDQ is always like a super family oriented event, so like they don't let you like one of the things that they tell you to do, like don't cuss, like try your best to be like kid friendly, family approved.
I seen somebody immediately go for shit, and they're like, shoot.
Yeah, good save. Yeah, and there's always like weird side effects, I think, that happen as a result of that. And this year, actually, they enforced subscriber-only chat, so you have to pay like $5 to get into the chat.
I was for that, actually.
Yeah, there's so
It
yeah.
keeps out a lot of people that are just gonna spam hate
I'm gonna
speech
grab another burr.
and whatever.
Here, just take
Like,
mine.
there's 3
Not
reasons for
feeling
it. Like, I know some people are mad, you know, because they're like, oh, I can't donate anything, I can't pay for this. Like, I understand that. I think it's a good way just to keep out people who are gonna spam hate speech.
Yeah, but that's the idea with gated communities. Like, all you're doing is you're saying there are people who are inferior to us, and that measurement is money. Is how much money you're able to pay. I think that it is a solution to a problem that there is a better solution out there for it.
Do you know of a better solution?
I mean, yeah, you get some moderators.
They have a lot of moderators,
Yeah, I think
and it's
they-
not enough.
Yeah, I think they just couldn't keep up with the amount, so they're just like, we're gonna try this and see if it works. Like,
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, this is a scorched earth. This is a scorched earth approach, which is scorched earth Oh my fucking god. Scorched
Language.
Earth approach.
You don't have mono, do you?
Scorched Earth. Oh my fucking god.
Is it from Kiss and Get?
Scotched Earth.
Scorched Earth approaches.
You know it's a Netrunner card too.
Perfect. Scorched Earth approaches
Scorched Earth?
are never the right solution because that assumes like it's defeatist is at least my opinion.
Yeah.
That's like saying like how do we get rid of all the people who commit crimes? We execute them.
Easy.
Yeah. Does that reduce crime? Absolutely. But is that the way to do it? No.
Yeah, because
No.
then it prevents other people from doing it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be executed.
Yep, Phil,
Yep,
you got
there
it.
you go.
Check and mate.
I-
It's all there.
I get that there might have been a cleaner chat, and by and large, I don't actually care about chat because it
Yeah,
it
I
gets
never
flooded,
watch it anyway.
Right, like when the Power Rangers thing was going on, there was just like a bunch of people putting a dozen emoticons. Like there's nothing of value in the chat.
Which, oddly
But-
enough, I kept seeing, like, YouTube videos from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream, like, popping up in my recommended feed, where it was, like, certain pivotal scenes in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it would be like, this is chat's reaction
Was
to this
it-
pivotal scene in Yu-Gi-Oh!
What was the?
That's kind of funny though. That's
Yeah.
sort of interesting. Is seeing like where the spikes in certain things are. That of course is an interesting to view maybe from a, like an anthropological viewpoint more than anything. But yeah, I don't believe in like the gated community thing. I think that this is a charity event especially. So
Yeah.
there shouldn't be like a pay to get in even because that I feel defeats the purpose of the charity, which is like that. You know those $5. If that was the only thing I had to give, I now gave those $5 for chat. Which maybe what goes to chat goes only to charity.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Sure.
Yeah, so like
But-
that's the policy. I mean, like obviously, Twitch takes a cut.
Yeah.
But like because of the fact that they get so many subscribers,
Right.
you know, part of that money goes
Maybe
to
Twitch would be like,
GD
you know what?
to
They're
the
going to
GDP.
charity, and we'll let them have the whole thing.
Well, that's the thing. Like even if they do that, right? Because it's the same thing that we saw with Patreon, right? It was an increase for people who were paying $1 of like cents. People were charged like 15 cents, 17 cents, 25 cents more than they were paying. But it's the difference between being able to support someone or something and not, right? Like
That's true.
like
I do
$5 just because it doesn't hurt you
Mm-hmm.
specifically, or just because it doesn't hurt you specifically, doesn't mean that
Yeah.
there aren't people out there who are like, fuck, $5 to not for chat participation. I guess I'm not gonna participate.
Yeah.
You know, and that like that can like kill a mood. That can kill someone like, oh, well, I guess I'm not gonna watch. I can't participate in chat even if I'm gonna be drowned out.
On the other hand, like, you can't participate in chat anyway, because there's so many people, it just
Well,
floods up.
so you get the stadium effect. Like that's always going to be the merit of chat in those
Right,
big chat
that's
rooms.
true.
Is like it's supposed to be similar to when everyone's yelling in a stadium. It's supposed to give that same impression, or that general effect, rather than it being like people are talking about whatever it is that's going on or talking about what's happening. And as the chat blows up or gets bigger, you know, you get you get closer to that stadium effect, and people want to be a part of that.
Alright.
I think another tool, I think a better way to do it, right? I've like spitballing here. A better way to do it would have been, say, Twitch institutes a policy where you're not, or as a streamer, you can set how long someone needs to have an account on Twitch for before you can start chatting,
Yeah.
right?
I
And
like
then
that.
you give GDQ the opportunity to say like, all right, you have to have had this account for like a day, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right? So when someone comes in, drops a couple N-bombs, they get banned, they're out, and then they make another account, they have to wait 24 hours to do it again. Like, that
Yeah.
will deter most of the people who would just create, like, dummy accounts to be, like, a piece
Does
of
Twitch
shit.
do IP bans?
No, they just do account bans.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that'd be kind of good if you're just like, oh, hey, this guy, this IP consistently gets banned for spamming slurs.
I think those tools are dangerous.
Also, yeah, keep in mind, like, so on the on the actual back end of doing IP bans and doing things like that, it's very expensive
Right.
because you have to pay for the storage of those things. Whereas if you ban or
An
if an
account,
account
like,
is
you just-
banned, you
yeah.
just say like, okay,
It's gone.
it's
Goodbye.
gone. Yeah. Where so like there is like a real world monetary effect of these kinds of things that prohibits certain actions being taken. For example, the 1-day policy has cost ramifications that are involved if it's specific to the account.
Does it?
Huh?
Does would instituting a 1-day thing cost money? Is it just because of the data necessary to hold? Like, you have to put a timer on someone?
Yeah, you'd have to add. So it's probably because This is gonna get really computer sciencey for a second.
And now, time for Getch's programming corner.
Listen, you're right. You do need sound effects.
I'd be a
So
great comptroller.
so every
Your updates are not current.
yeah, thank you, AVG. There's so every there are things that are called classes, and a class is a blueprint to create an instance of something. So for example, there is a class called Twitch user that holds their name,
Right.
their channel, their user, all of their stats for streaming and all that other stuff. You would have to add an additional variable to take the place of like hours active, if they don't already have one. And you would also have to update your SQL database that holds the backend data to update that as well. That's like the only real world ramification, is that there would be some amount of changing of
Got
the
it.
Twitch data on the backend. So what you would have to do is you have to update everyone, and it's a whole thing. I'm sure the conversation comes up. Like
Sure.
there's
For
enough
a
people
lot.
at Twitch that have that conversation, I'm sure.
I understand your point of view for sure, and actually, now that you explain it, I'm like, you know what, that actually does make a lot of sense, and I agree with you.
Don't get me wrong, like I get it, and I work hard at remembering the thing that like Matt has said before, that has been a good reminder, right? When you have people of dissenting opinions and you express both opinions, people usually don't change their mind. People usually just dig into their own side, and I get it, right? I see the value in making it so that it's subscriber only. Does it keep out a lot of the riffraff, so to speak? Yeah, it does. And is it a better channel overall and a better experience? Also, yeah, probably. I just always want to try and strive for more. I don't like being
Like compromising
yeah. I think
in
that
this
there's,
way.
that there's
yeah.
always improvements to be made.
Yeah, I think that's at the core of this. Is like, this is such a big event. You know, like we're talking like 150,000 concurrent viewers at any given time. In the evening time, it drops around to maybe 90,000. Like
But
we're
it's still
like,
not a big drop. But
so many people that are involved in this, and we're talking about so much money.
Yeah.
In general, that the amount, and because it's such a big event, it also has big pool. There's always going to, like, part of this should be community regulation, or should be kind of like policies enacted by Twitch or by AGDQ themselves to try and restrict this kind of thing. That being said, like, obviously they can't deal with it, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't. Like, just to clearly put my foot down somewhere, to have an opinion, I'm of the opinion that this is a good thing, because fundamentally speaking, like last year, all of the YouTube videos that involve a transgender runner are like have comments disabled, because the harassment was so bad. There's just like obviously they're ill-equipped, or don't have the manpower, or don't have the skill, or don't have the whatever.
I mean,
you
they
know?
don't allow mods on YouTube,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
Really? I thought that was a thing. I think you could
you
modify
can
people.
You can go through and like delete comments. I think like the channel owner can, which
I
means
thought you could make a mod. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
there's
I
no
don't
more
know
like
about that.
community comments anymore, so I don't think there is, because I noticed it was either Ethan from H3H3 or PewDiePie, someone who was just like, and let me make moderators so that they can go through my comments. So
Yeah.
someone said that.
And some of the core personalities in speedrunning too are transgender. People like Proto Magical Girl, who is trans, who has to deal with a lot of shit every time they come up to do anything. It's just rough. And one of the transgender runners ran Superman 64, and one of the people commented in chat after, like, I'm really happy that this transgender runner didn't, like, and there was an actual moment of, like, conversation that happened that wasn't, like, someone just spamming emotes, where they're like, I'm really happy that this person got through their stream without dealing with a bunch of shit in chat. And I was like, that does it.
That's
like
actually
that,
very good.
Like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it's
Yeah,
tough.
I feel like last year there was a lot of spam towards Proto Magical Girl.
There was, and there was a lot of bullshit around that made it like I just closed chat. Like this year, I've been able to like go in and like participate a little bit, and whereas before I was like I can't, like shit's so garbage. But it was nice this year. Not to say that you're right. Like at the end of the day, like
They're still, like, putting
how
up a
much
big
money?
wall.
Yeah, how much money's on the line? Like how many people can't participate? I was, during like the morning news segment that I did yesterday,
Thursday. Yeah.
That's weird. Okay, yeah, my concept of time is all wonky. The hoster boy commented about how he's not allowed to spend money on Twitch, and because of that, like, he just wouldn't be able to participate, even though he would have the desire to. And it's like, yeah, like, there's that, like, putting an economic barrier up for something, like, is a super shitty thing to do.
That's another one. That's one that I didn't even think of. It is a strange disconnect between AGDQ striving to be a family-friendly thing
Yeah.
and putting up this paywall and recognizing that if you're making family-friendly, that means that a good portion of your audience is kids with no money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, which maybe is the intention. Like,
Which
maybe...
is kind of funny, because there was someone who was just like, "Can I get a round of applause for my newborn?" Like,
Yeah,
barely
like,
anybody
single
clapped.
clap for the newborn child.
so it's not. I wouldn't say this event is like super. Like, at least the audience base, I don't think a lot of it is kids. I know there are kids because
Yeah.
people mention them. I just don't think it's significantly kids.
It's got, you know, it's got to be the 18 to 35.
Yeah.
Like, same group as, you know,
Speedrunners.
millennials. Yeah. But there's also, I'm sure I've heard a significant enough number of people donating that are like, oh, I've got high school stuff tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this is like weird. Like, this is a strange thing.
At the same time, like, when I was in high school, I still did stuff like this, so I
Yeah.
can see that demographic still being, like, they're of the mentality where I don't think if they hear a swear word that they're going to be like, woo!
Yeah. I don't know. I think AGDQ needs to abandon... Like, I think part of it, too, is, like, the person who runs AGDQ and probably the Prevent Cancer Foundation and Doctors Without Borders have a say in, like, what kind of community
Content.
that it can be. And, like, there is an element of high horsiness. Like, there is an element of, like... Sorry, like, pure thoughts only, no one's allowed to have sex. Like, I guarantee you in Vernon, Virginia, right now, people are fucking, like, on every possible surface they can. I'm sure if you were to walk in the practice room at any time, there's probably two people going at it, like, always. But, like, you know, because people are gonna do people things always. So you gotta be able to
at the same time, it's like,
navigate
it's
that.
a quote-unquote charity event, and usually when I hear the word charity event, I think of, like, a room full of people in suits and dresses, and it's all stuffy.
Paid $1,000 for
Yeah.
their table of salad and filet mignon, who were about to.
It's not even like a good salad. It's like something that like your
From
kid
the
threw
fair
together.
fields of Hawaii, Vernon, we've got arugula salad sprinkled with mandarin orange sauce and crumbled blue cheese.
Not even mandarin oranges, someone says from the back, slamming the table. You couldn't get real Chinese oranges?
I paid good money to sit here in the middle of the room. I'm not paying anymore, but I deserve
We
my
stopped dropping
oranges.
frames.
Ah, sick.
Yeah.
We have like 10 minutes left.
I know. But, well, we stopped a while ago.
I
It's
know.
been 3460 for a
That's
while.
good.
But it's just like...
Fuck you, Cox.
Yeah. Hey, Cox, you know, you suck. Fuck ya. Yeah, bitch.
They're gonna start pulling it.
And a
again.
sluter.
A sluter.
A sluter.
Sluter?
Yeah. Hey, Aeneas, if you're watching this
Drop your phone.
and you got to edit the podcast, here's a few words of advice. You cut out this bit right here. You make sure this bit don't make it into the podcast
Keep
because
it
that's
in
going to make
and,
things
and
bad.
make sure you copy and paste him saying sluter like 6 times.
Remember, never cut content from the podcast. Always include it.
Always include?
Quick, Getch, take off your pants.
No. These
Take
pants.
off your pants and your panties.
One thing that is nice, these pants just fall right off. They just come right off now.
Show
They
us,
used to be
prove us.
pretty tight, and I ain't gonna prove nothing to no one. Phil, you're such a slutty whole mouth.
Do
Yep.
that. Do that off camera.
No.
Speaking of
Do it
Rick
on
and
camera.
Morty, I actually
on
finished
camera.
the VR game.
Which one, Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Did you do any VR chat? I saw that. Aeneas mentioned that you said that it was free, as if you had the intention to play it.
We are actually thinking about streaming it where I control everything and Aeneas talks because I don't want to instantly be bombarded with, are you a 5-year-old or a grill?
Can we just talk with the Ugandan accent? Problem solved.
I'll show you the way.
Do you know
Yeah.
the way? No, Aeneas, I'd rather Aeneas talks because he has a slight accent, so they'll be
Yeah.
like, where the fuck are you from?
Uganda.
Uganda. No, so we're gonna stream it and just see what happens.
Yeah, I really. So for tomorrow's, Getch does Blob bit, because I've been streaming on Saturdays. I was thinking about doing a keyboard build,
I like that.
because I want to finish building the Let's Split one.
I hope
like
that by
like the
the end of it,
Destiny
you have a
figurines. Like the Lego set, you never
And I
finished.
just solder on this bit, and yeah,
Like
I
the
know.
Warhammer figurines.
Yes.
Finish them for you if you want.
No, Phil,
They've
that
been
wouldn't.
sitting in that box right there since you guys put them there.
Phil, I want you to understand that, like,
If he's not gluing them with his own bodily fluids, it's not worth it.
it's not worth it. It's not the process.
Like he won't touch them for like another 2 years, but
Yeah.
he'll get there.
Eventually, I'll do it. Although the Lego set is like legitimately missing pieces and
Yeah.
should probably just be thrown out.
Yeah.
But there are, for the most part, if I start a project, I will do it eventually. I just have to like
Want to do it?
sit down and finish it. For example, here's a great one that some people might be on the know of: is Board Builders. It Dread,
But-
which lost its momentum.
Bloodborne game. Bloodborne.
What are you saying?
Bloodborne
Finish
board
your
game?
sentence.
Bloodborne board game.
Bloodborne.
He owns that.
I was just reminded of it.
Bloodborne game. I own that.
Board blood.
I own that.
Alliteration.
Santorini. I play that. Pandemic Legacy. We'll finish that eventually. Oh shit! Here we go.
It's true.
Yeah.
One day, we
Is
won't
he-
get.
Next 24-hour stream, we should just play Pandemic Legacy
Until we beat it.
we beat it. Yeah. And then
Perfect.
start season 2.
Season
cry.
2.
And then cry.
Did your world get obliterated by
The yellows.
Doomfist? Tell Doomfist to take a hike because this season we've got.
Bloomfist.
I need healing.
I really loved that when we started playing with Joe, he immediately pointed out everything we fucking did wrong. It was great. He's just like, yeah, you guys fucked up really bad.
Yeah, Joe's a piece of shit. Hey, Joe! Hey, Joe, if you're watching this, fuck you. Jay, strange champion. Garbage. Total filth.
Mirth?
Murph?
The land of Geshes and socks?
It's a good place to be.
I'm wearing socks.
Good solid place.
Well, you need to take off your shoes. We gotta be a sock cast.
Too much work.
Like, I've specifically
Are
put on
those
socks.
boots lace up?
So
Lace
that I
them
wouldn't
up.
get comments on my feet.
Yeah, but I don't want to release.
Lace them. Yeah.
Yeah.
This came
Yeah.
right off. What are you talking about? Put those
Yeah.
on, no
Yeah,
problem.
but I have to give him a foot massage.
Do it.
Do it.
You have to
You-
give him
you
a
gotta
foot
do it.
massage.
No,
No, he's
Brian.
wearing socks. You won't be touching feet. You'll be touching socks.
No,
These are
fuck.
also new socks, so
Perfect.
Listen,
New
I've had
socks.
girlfriends say the same thing. They were like, "Hey, listen, I know you hate feet. I could use a foot massage," and I'm like, "No. That's a foot with a fucking condom on it. I know what's under there. You can't lie to me. I know what's going on underneath that sock."
Wait. What about foot, socks on, under running water?
Under what?
Under running water.
Boiling running water.
Okay, well, if she's willing to put, sorry, I said she, but if they're willing to put their feet under boiling water,
what? While they're touching your pee-pee.
oh no, now you just raised the pot. I was gonna make a joke about not doing it, but like here we go. Pee-pee touching involved and boiling water on hot feet.
You know what
Oh,
it
yeah.
would technically be, right? It'd be a foot job.
Oh, perfect.
No.
Pee-pee touching was happening. It's
We're,
foot
we're,
job.
we're getting into the realm of like I don't want these things to be on the internet forever.
I'm just curious, what do you have to get offered to touch someone's feet in a massage-like fashion? Money?
Several
And if so, how much?
several
Keyboards?
million
And if so, how many?
Yes, in a scale of keyboards.
several million cents. let's just say that.
So at least $10,000. That's not too bad. I think we can raise $10,000.
I already said I was going to raise money just to have
During-
carcinogen sing karaoke.
Who fucking so during Broken Age, someone donated Grey Waves. Grey Waves donated like $50. That's too much. Like $20 and it was like $200 to get them to kiss. Let's start the wave, boys, and like really tried to get that going. And I was like, no one was gonna do it. No one was gonna donate any more money than that. Although I kind of wish they had, because that's a lot of money.
Would you have done it?
Yeah, I've kissed a dude before.
Yeah, but
Did you like it?
under
The
duress.
taste of his jerky chapstick.
No, that's how I know that I'm not gay.
Are you
Because
sure?
I did it and was like, this isn't
No,
for
no, no,
me.
no. You
No,
like
no, no, no,
lips.
no, no, no.
You might
See,
just.
No, 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 no,
I had the
no, no,
opposite
no.
reaction. I kissed a girl and I was like, "Fuck, I like
And
this."
you liked it?
You
I liked
might.
it a lot.
You might just not like locking lips. But have you gone down south? Because maybe that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's where the party's at.
That's it.
That's where you need
You might not like kissing a guy, but you might like mouthing his dick. There you go. That's the
I
party.
mean, and that's his job. He's a glory hole sandwich artist.
Oh,
so-
glory hole. He's the Subway of people.
No. He just goes to the glory hole and he also makes some sandwiches. That's why it smells like old mayo in here.
I got a panini press over here. Let me blow you. Let's go.
Let
Come
me
on.
Press that for you.
Yeah, hear that sizzle? That's my mouth on your
Would
penis.
you guys go to a glory hole if there was like a percentage of
First-
like it being
okay.
a woman on the other
No,
side?
there's
No.
no qualifier on that. I would not go to a glory hole. One, I like my genitals too much, and two, it probably would not go through the hole.
Yeah. Everything about a glory hole screams. There's a guy with a machete on the other side just
Yeah.
waiting. Just like,
Just chop.
I once
He's got like a tiny guillotine that he fashioned with like Legos, and he's just like, go ahead, put your dick in there. I can't wait to see what happens.
I have a really uncomfortable. I can't watch gore if it's too realistic because I was scarred in high school. I was sitting on the bus going home, and one of my friends like had an iPod Touch like preloaded with movies, and he was playing a movie, and I glanced over,
And it was teeth.
and it was some guy in a fuck chair. He's being fucked, and then the chair cut his dick off.
What? Hold on. What? Where's no? Hold on. The mathematics of this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm into this.
Someone's having sex with him.
No,
And-
it's a chair that fucks you,
Oh.
and then the chair cut his dick off.
Happy ending.
Yeah, that's a payout. I'm
So-
happy that ended the way that it did instead of.
It was just like I was minding my own business. I was having a nice.
He did you a favor.
Time.
He's like, hey, you want to see something cool?
No, my dad actually has a story similar to mine, and we still don't know like where this video came from because he does maintenance on my grandparents' computer, and my grandparents are not super technical, but like I know they're smarter than whatever happened, so they don't know how that video got on there. I'm assuming one of them clicked something because my grandpa called up my dad and said, "Hey, did you download a video onto my computer?" My dad was like, "No," and he went back, he played the video, and it was like one of those what's World Star videos of like a dude like
World
slicing
Star?
a guy's neck open with a machete.
Yo, here we go. That's
what the
party.
hell?
And my dad was like, "Yeah, that mentally scarred me." Like we both have the problem where once we see something like that, it gets stuck.
for porn, but then I got this weird like decapitation thing. I need help.
Yeah.
My Norton antivirus ain't working.
My notes and antivirus can't tell if someone's getting their head cut off or if they're getting their vagina fucked. I can't tell anymore.
I remember delivering pizza to some guy who opened the door and
Please.
the line of sight from the door to
A
his
Serbian
computer
film?
was clear, and it was porn.
No surprise there.
When I was to take an I statement, when I was canvassing, there were a number of people down in PB who, when I went to their house, just had like the hugest bongs. Like I think that the three houses next to each other were competing to try and see who could get the biggest glass bong. Cause some dude was just like he was like sitting on the floor, like half spooning something, and he's like, "Hey, what you want?" And I'm like, "Do you want to give money so we can ban plastic bags in California?" And he
Hey,
was,
you did it.
And
You
he
win.
and he was like, shook his head and started doing it in front of me, and I'm like,
So you're gonna offer me some? Or
You
how
should
many
have gone
times have you
back.
offered weed like
Never.
as a tip?
Never.
Once.
Are
So
you
did
kidding
happen
me?
to
No
you?
one wants to. No one wants to pay you in weed. It's worth
I've
more than
read
gold.
like a lot of delivery stories where they're just like, "Yeah, they offered me weed as a tip."
They've offered me, and then some guy also wanted to buy some off me.
some dude also tried to fuck you. He was like, "Hey,"
Oh, he tried to blow me. Different.
and he's like, "Hey."
So
Hey.
how about tell me that story? Like, did you go up to the door and he was like, "Hey, I won't give you a tip, but I'll do something."
This
to
is
you."
really
No,
funny,
no, that
actually.
was
This is-
after-
I
was
heard the
after
story.
work.
So
I don't
wait,
believe
so
Some
it's
it.
like the
guy
same guy
just
you, like,
walked
ordered
up to
pizza
his
and then
car
came
and
back and
asked
hit on
if
you?
he
It
wanted.
was just a
Hey.
dude that just wanted to blow me after work.
I reminded of a scene of a movie I just watched. So I recently watched A Rough Night. Rough Night.
How was it?
So it actually was better than I expected.
Okay, that's good.
Like we purposely went in thinking it was a bad movie.
maybe bad advertising.
Yeah.
Advertising.
Things that I thought were gonna happen didn't happen.
Do you want another beer, Phil? Should I go grab you one from the freak?
But there was a scene where, do you guys know what sad astronauting is?
No.
That sounds porn.
Yeah.
So, first of all, this was explained by Bo Burnham, and I didn't know he was in this movie, and I was extremely happy to see him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't, like, super in it a lot, but I was like, hey, it's Bo Burnham.
Tell me more.
So, Bo Burnham was talking about the sad astronaut. He's like, all right, so this is what you do. So, a while back, there was this astronaut, and she had a fiance, and the fiance, like, cheated on her. So, what she decided to do was put on adult diapers and drive the time link to go to her cheating boyfriend, and then she murdered him and his girlfriend. Like, it's sad, but this is what you gotta do to go win your girl back. So the dude that was doing it, because he thinks his girlfriend, like, cheated on him, he puts on adult diapers and drives while pounding Red Bulls and Russian
Roulettes.
what's the pill that makes you, like, super hyper focus?
Cocaine.
Like, they use, like, it's for, like,
Adderall?
ADHD. Adderall. Like, a Russian Adderall. And then, so, at one point, he stops at a gas station, and he's just in an adult diaper and a shirt. And this truck driver stops and was just, like, because he's trying to get money for gas, because his card got blocked. So he's, like, doing the guy's window, and the truck driver comes out and says, hey, you want to buy some meth? And he's like, nah, I'm good. It's like, can I suck your dick? And he's like, nah, I'm good. And then later...
Those two questions back to back?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to buy
it
meth?
happens again. Where some other
That
guy
person-
was like, hey, you got some meth I can buy? And
That
also,
person
can I
has
suck your dick?
experience. Because, like, if someone buys meth off you, you can be like, I'll tell the cops unless you let me suck your dick. that dude's not gonna be like,
I don't understand. What's the point of the diapers?
Oh, it's because he's driving a long period of time. He was driving like 8 hours or something
8
ridiculous.
hours?
Like something ridiculous.
You stop in the middle of the road, you get out, you pop a squat, you get back in, you keep driving.
I think he was just like, he's gonna drive one way and not stop, which is funny because he stopped at the gas station. So I don't know what was with the diaper.
Brian, why are you popping a squat?
I'm trying to get revenge shit on my cheating ex.
Oh yeah, so the movie I was actually pretty good. I thought there was gonna be like this weird dynamic between the clingy best friend and the new best friend, whether she was gonna be like "fuck you," and like it was gonna be like a catty thing that escalated the movie, sort of thing. But that didn't happen, and I enjoyed what I saw. Like that person playing a dead body was actually pretty entertaining. Like he was like at one point he falls off of a jet ski. And in that second, both me and my aunt were like, was he alive in that second or what? Because it's just the way he fell. But we were entertained, like, for the most part.
That's a good sign. Typically, if a movie is entertaining the whole way through, it is not a bad movie.
The fact that I never pulled out my phone the whole time was just, like, entertained.
Success.
I was like...
Officially better
wouldn't
than
watch
Ghost
it
in the
again,
Shell.
But I had fun.
All right.
I don't know. I didn't pull out my phone during Ghost in the Shell.
But Rachel did.
I did, and I also contemplated walking out.
Maybe it's because I just don't like to pull my phone out in stuff.
It's very
Usually,
rude.
It is rude, but like
Well,
if something's bad enough
in
that
a
you're
dark
like,
theater it is because it's super dark.
yeah.
In my
Someone pulls
case,
their phone
I
out and
turned...
there's a spot that
I
a
was
mile
like...
away.
Well, I pulled it out, like, once, and I was like, wait.
What movie was it that we were like, someone pulled their phone out? I'm pretty sure that you guys were there. It might have been with Hugo and Co. Where someone pulled their phone out, and so the dude behind them was like, "Hey, will you like knock that shit off? I'm trying to watch this movie." And then like went back to their seat, and the dude down there was like, "I don't know what to do now." It was really good. It was a really
I
satisfying
wasn't
moment.
there. That sounds really
You
funny.
guys ever
Yeah,
left a
that
movie
That sounds
early?
amazing.
It was awesome.
Left the
No,
movie
never.
earlier?
Yeah.
No. I've
I
always...
thought about it with Ghost in the Shell, and I almost wanted to do it with the new Star Wars.
I did it.
I walked out of a movie. Hey, whoa, you just tilted. I know what your opinion is now. Not that I'm gonna go watch it while it's in theaters. But I did there was a movie that I almost wanted to walk out of. I
But
just
you didn't walk out of.
yeah, no, I remember seeing that. I was just like, this is such hot garbage. I don't remember what movie it was. It might have been House of the Dead.
I walked out of Harry Potter.
Why?
'Cause shit.
It wasn't because I wanted to leave. It was because my sister was
Wait, no, yet. This is all about wanting to leave a movie because it doesn't live up to your expectations of what it does.
You know what was funny? The first time that I saw Brave, it was with Manny. And I remember walking out of the movie theater with
Manny
him
of
saying,
podcast fame.
That was subpar.
No, I said, Manny, I don't think that movie was for us. I think you and me going and watch this movie was probably the weirdest thing we could have done. 'Cause I feel like that was meant to make a daughter have a better relationship with her mother. My relationship with my mom is okay at this time because I don't know that I'm about to get kicked out from my mom's house in 5 years, give or take. Suffice to say, this movie was not for us, and I feel as though we have wasted our time. And he said, yep.
I don't know. I mean, as somebody who's had a turbulent relationship with my mother, I watched that movie and I was just like, why are you not like a bear? Like, why can't you be a bear? Be a bear.
It would enhance everything
Yeah.
if you were just a bear.
Eat the fish. Eat the fish.
Well, guys,
It's time.
I
time.
think that's it.
Can we all do this?
We've gone above and beyond. I think.
No, we did an hour.
We started at like 8:33.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at the
Phil,
hour.
you can't do it, man. There's a tradition in place.
So see, now he's just gonna do it to fuck with us at one point.
Thank
right.
you, everyone, for joining us. We have been your magnificent, fabulous, internetless, the Skill Floor. We have been graced by our gracious host, Matthew Getch, and we have been your audience with the
Abs?
Addy
Abs?
Asians.
You've-
Joined today by Phil.
We've been joined
Rachel,
by Russian Adderall and
Okay.
vodka. Yeah.
Sad
blowjobs at the gas station. I am Brian, and we just want to wish you a happy night if you guys are still watching. Join us soonish for the Iron Hulk.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Incredible Iron Man.
The Incredible Hulk on Rabbit tonight.
The Hulk Man. Hulk Iron. Iron Hulk.
We are always going to be beholden to our internet, but you should still show.
Yo, the soundtrack in Thor Ragnarok is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm really
It was
excited.
really good.
Except the immigrant song twice was dumb.
Ah, yeah.
I think that was the
dumb.
worst thing they've ever done. I liked the whole movie until the second time the immigrant song came out. I was like, why?
Immigrant song by.
Led Zeppelin.
I
They did
That-
it for
that-
the intro, and then
yeah.
they did it for like the last fight scene. I'm just like,
Yeah, that movie
why do it
also.
twice?
I only know
Right,
one
me.
immigrant song, and it's Immigradiada by Gogo
No,
Bordello.
the one that Rachel was just like.
Immigrada, Immigrada. Oh. Didn't they also use that for Wonder Woman? Yo, that person's making a fucking ton of money
Led
right now.
Zeppelin? Yes! They're making a lot of money!
I'd like to point out
They
the fact that
made a lot of
I
money, dude.
absolutely hate Led Zeppelin. Just
He
real
doesn't
quick
like
before we
classic
go.
rock. He
Believe
doesn't
you.
like.
He's more of a
Who could hate Led
post-rock
Zeppelin? I
man.
don't believe
Look
you.
at
Is-
him. Look at him. Post-rock.
Hi, my name is Matthew Fetch, and I hate Lad Zeppelin.
All right, on 3, we're going to clap, sing, and be Audi 500. Ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
I saw that Twitch.
Thanks, everyone.